So Andy Martino on SNY claims this deal does not affect Pete Alonso. I just have one question for you, Andy.
What?
Are you a dumbass?
What? Who? Andy? Who?
Andy Martino. Andy Martino
Who
for
the fuck is this guy?
SNY. He
He's from
claimed
SNY.
from SNY. Yes.
You deserve to get fired for that.
That is
Like
a
what?
ridiculous statement.
Andy Martino.
I mean, so I'll ask it one more time.
This
Yeah,
idiot?
there he is. Yeah, Andy. There he is. Hey, Andy. Are you a dumbass? I'm just curious. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the FTB podcast. I am your host, Chris Gulick, alongside my co-host, Tom Savino. We'll be discussing the week that was. The Jets finally make the move, while the Giants need to move on from one certain coach. Baseball free agency is slowly brewing, while the Knicks cannot be taken seriously due to this one reason. What could that reason possibly be? We'll be assessing that concerning topic in a bit. But first, just a couple of things off the top. For Spotify, Dom, they did put the episodes back. So once I uploaded the most recent episode, the other ones immediately came back. I guess they were just waiting for me to change the music. So that's done, thank God. So that's good news. But regarding YouTube, folks, our YouTube subscriber count is getting up there. Thank God. It's hovering over 80. We're looking to get it to 100 fairly soon. But YouTube is definitely our most important source of material. That's definitely our most important platform. We do want to get that as high as possible, sooner than later. Not saying you shouldn't listen to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, but YouTube is definitely where we want a lot of our listeners to go first. Obviously you could see me and Dom on the camera. We try to make it as eventful and fun as we can. But not saying we're trying to totally steer you away from the other two platforms. And then, of course, Dom generated the TikTok account. So that's something that's continuously being, used and uploaded. So definitely take a look at that when you can. And of course, commenting. We want you guys to comment as much as possible on our YouTube videos, on really all of our platforms and everything that we upload and we talk about. So just keep that in mind. Again, like I said last week, Dom does a little bit more mentioning of the comments than I do. So good work on his part, but I do need to mention the comments a little bit more. But other than that, that's really all I got to say up front. Dom, how was your weekend?
No, yeah, but like before that, you know, I don't know why a lot of Met fans and Jet fans they want to debate. I don't know. Maybe they just want to debate you, not me. I don't know. You're getting all the the crazy people under your comments. Me, I'm getting nothing. I'm getting not a goddamn thing. So people, I want people to piss me off. Like, please piss me off. I want to just type back and go at you. Please, I want all the debate. I want all the smoke. Please, I need it. It makes my day. So
I don't know, Dom. I don't know if you saw what happened recently. Some guy called me a fat ass, essentially. I was laughing so hard. Forgot what he said. He was like, "Oh, you're too big for the chair, and you got one Twinkie in your hand, the other one in your mouth." I'm gonna be honest, that made my day. I was laughing my ass off. I was like,
but,
this is a well thought out comment. Thank you for listening to the show. I'll see you next week."
you can't even really see the chair. We're on a green screen. So how's that possible?
I don't know.
All right. That's dope, I guess. I don't know. I mean, hey, interactions, I like it. I like
I welcome it.
the
I love it.
interactions.
I love
It's
it. It's great.
it's fantastic. So, hey, keep it coming. Make fun of me too, please.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Make fun of my something. I don't know.
That stupid
Something
hat.
that I never heard of before. That'll be fun to hear. But all right, other than that, weekend was good. I mean, I went to the Giants game and it was just hilarious because I mean, I sort of thought that they would let Jameis Winston throw the ball, which they didn't. And they came back, the Packers. Well, I mean, not really a comeback, but, it was like just back and forth all game. Then with the last few minutes of the game, they scored in the fourth quarter. And then once they scored, I don't know, I think there was like 3 minutes left, something like that. I left. I'm like, we're not coming back. We're not going down the field and scoring. That's how much confidence I have in my team. I was like, you know what? Let me beat the traffic. Let me beat the traffic and get out of here. I can get out of the stadium in like 5 minutes compared to if I stayed for the whole game. It would take me like 45 minutes to get out of there. Not happening. Then like we were, walking down the stairs or like the escalator. Then we go outside with like the big monitors. Like I'm just watching the game real quick. Then I see Jameis Winston throw a pick in the end zone. I'm like, see, I'm a smart guy. I'm a very intelligent fan. That's what happened. But I mean, it was nice though. It was nice. Shout out to my neighbor John, who's the best. And whenever he can't really go to Giant games, so he has season tickets, he'll be like, hey, like, would you want to go? Would you want to go to this game? I can't make it. And obviously, I say yes, and I love it. John is the best, so shout out to him. And we have very good seats, so God bless John for that.
Nice. Nice. Smart that you left early so you could beat the traffic.
Yep.
That's what I would have done. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just not worth sitting there watching your team clearly lose. I mean, Jameis Winston playing quarterback is definitely entertaining to watch. He is hilarious. I saw that
Mm-hmm.
dance in the end zone. I was laughing my ass off on that one.
Yeah, that was weird.
Um,
That was weird.
that was weird. He's
And
a
he's a great
quirky
guy.
guy. He's an odd fellow,
Yeah.
He is. But
How about
my
you?
weekend was solid. Um, Celebrated my mom's 60th birthday, so that was fun. Shout out to my mom. Happy belated birthday to her. Her
Oh yeah.
birthday was this past Friday. We went out to dinner on Saturday night. We went to a nice Mexican restaurant. We also did axe throwing before dinner. Had never done that before. I got to tell you, not too hard, but not too easy. Honestly, it was kind of like right in the middle. The difficulty level was right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So I did all right. Had some pretty bad throws, honestly. Didn't even hit the board. But some of them were good. But it was fun. It was something new. So I enjoyed it. Shout out to my aunt. She planned all that. So she put that together. So nice to see that. I will say one thing though, where the axe throwing is, Dom. Do you remember the Fortune Off Mall in Westbury? I don't know if you've ever
No,
been there
I've never
before.
been over there.
No? I
Never.
gotta tell you, it is so upsetting. It looks like a damn ghost town now. I remember 15, 20 years ago, there was so much more to do there. There were like gaming centers, there was like sports stores, and now you look around, stores are just going out of business. Final sale, we're going out, we're bankrupt. It's just it was tough to watch, but the axe throwing place was nice, but just looking around it, it's just not the same. And it actually got me a little nostalgic. I was like, this is crazy. Rainforest Cafe used to be there, but it is what it is. Times change. But other than that, weekend was solid. I enjoyed it all. But now we're gonna, what was that? 8 minutes of talking about our lives. I think that's enough. Now the NFL. We're gonna start there. Giants lose to the Packers 27-20. As Dom had just mentioned, he was there, unfortunately. He did, though, leave and beat the traffic. Very smart. There is one certain coach that needs to let go of his coaching duties. Dom, you had mentioned him for weeks already. You want to mention to the folks once more who that coach is that needs to go?
His name is Shane Bowen, and he is god awful. Every single analyst, every single former player, even players currently are sick of this guy. He has no scheme. We rush the passer like one of the most in the league, and we still can't get any sacks. The only person that can is Brian Burns because he's going absolutely crazy, and he is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. And am I surprised No, honestly, I'm not. He's that good. What is surprising to me though is Abdul Carter. He only has half a sack. He only has half a sack, but I'll get into that more in a minute. But with Shane Bowen, he doesn't change a damn thing. He is not disguising any plays. He's not tricking any other opposing offense. It's just blech. And he's not even using these players right. I don't really think he's using Abdul Carter right in the first place. I don't really think he's using Kayvon right in the first place. Our linebackers are non-existent. I mean, I know that we have Micah McFadden still hurt. Okereke, I don't know if it's just him declining or it's the scheme or anything. I don't know. But it's so bad. Even with Paulson Adebo and Javon Hollins, they're supposed to be really impact players for us, and they're non-existent. It seems like none of these dudes are worth the money that we gave them. It's just a shame. It doesn't make any sense on why he's not fired yet. And I'm a little confused. Maybe I guess it is the head coach's decision. But with the Giants, I don't know. Like, does the GM get involved with coordinators, or does the owner get involved with the coordinators? It's a whole fuck up over there. But if it's Mike Kafka's duty to fire the defensive coordinator, he should have did it after this game. Every play that Jordan Love threw the ball, a receiver was wide open. Wide open. It didn't make any sense. But even when Jordan Love was out and the backup quarterback was out, Malik Willis, he looked like the second coming of Joe Montana. It was unreal. And then also there's Josh Jacobs out. So we had the starting quarterback out for a while. And then for most of the game, Josh Jacobs didn't come back. And we still lost. Their two main guys basically done. Still can't win the game because of how bad our defense is. And I don't know if you saw WFAN yesterday, Chris, but Tiki Barber lit Shane Bowen up.
I sent
lit
it
him
to
up,
you.
and honestly, I never seen him that mad.
I sent you the video. Did you watch it?
I did watch it, but
Yeah.
I never seen him that mad. I mean, sorry, I had multiple people send it to me, so I forgot who sent it to me.
Mhm.
But, Tiki Barber is mostly a chill guy and just, he just says it how it is. He doesn't really get too loud, too low. He got a little loud, and I was, I was shocked that he did it, but, like, I'm not surprised on why, because just how bad he is. So he needs to go. I don't know if any Giant fan was expecting second pick overall right now. As of right now, we have the second overall pick in the draft. If you ask me this in August or September, I'd be like, there's no way. There's no shot that this is happening. It's so bad how the Giants are ran this year, and just everything's getting delayed. I feel like with Brian Daboll, he should have got fired earlier in the season. Shane Bowen should have been gone after probably the Cowboys game. Realistically, he should have been gone. And I don't know. Honestly, it's just so bad to watch. I mean, obviously, no, we could have it worse. We could be like, I mean, the Jets are right there too of how bad they are, and obviously like the Titans, and there's other worse situations out there. But it's just such a disgrace to see. And same thing last time when I went to the Chiefs game, there's a lot of red, and now this time when I went against the Packers, a lot of cheeseheads, a whole lot of cheeseheads. This is seeming to be like the Brooklyn Nets arena. Everyone's going there to see the Knicks, or everyone's going there to see another star player. That's what MetLife is starting to feel like. I mean, I don't know if you've been to a Jet game in a while, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know how the Jets fans are, but there really isn't a lot of Giants fans coming to these games, and it's such a shame. But then with the Abdul Carter thing, allegedly he sat out for the first series of the game because he was asleep during the walkthroughs, but that's not true. He confirmed it himself, Abdul Carter, that he was actually getting recovery, so he wasn't asleep. But that was the first report that came out, but then Abdul Carter's like, no, that's not what happened. But allegedly during walkthroughs all year, he was late almost every time. And it takes till right now for him to have a punishment. That says so much about Brian Dable. Like, you're not going to discipline your players. I thought, you were like this hard-nosed coach, like old-style coach, who doesn't take shit from nobody. Like, how soft did he get from 2022 to now? I think it was it Tiki or Brandon, or I forgot who said it. They said on their show, they're like, I thought Brian Dable had a sack. I don't. It seems like he doesn't. It seems like he never had one in the first place. Maybe the first year, and that was it. The whole organization is a clusterfuck. Um, Obviously, like I said last week, you're not going to fire the GM in the middle of the season because that would just make things even worse. So they're going to fire him later. But it's just so embarrassing that Shane Bowen's not fired yet. Should have been fired weeks ago. But here we are, and obviously at this point, as any smart football fan would know, that if we're really down bad, have no chance of making the playoffs, I hope we lose every game. I hope now that we just try and get the highest draft pick. The Titans are so bad. I don't even know if we can outduel them in a tank off. But hey, I'll take the second overall pick. I will. And I'm just going to say this right now. I know it's very early. The season didn't even freaking end yet. But if fans are wondering what's going on, I don't think, if we're number 2, I don't think we're gonna get a cornerback in the second pick. That's just way too high, in my opinion. If we do stay with the second overall pick, we're gonna have to get a receiver, and hopefully that receiver is one of those Ohio State receivers because they are just incredible. Unless we trade down, which honestly, I wouldn't be mad about trading down either, because what people are saying, these analysts are saying everywhere and every platform, that 2027 might be the best NFL draft ever, if not a top 3 draft that we've ever seen when it comes to prospects. So, hey, if we can get more prospects for next year, I'll take it.
Right.
Obviously, we got to get something good in return, but yeah, the Giants are a clusterfuck.
That's the thing, right? A few things. Number one, I haven't gone to a Jet game in 2 years. The last game that I went to was Monday Night Football, Jets Chargers. Oh, I'm sorry. No, wrong. Black Friday game. So it will be 2 years this upcoming Black Friday. So the day after Thanksgiving, of course. That was Jets Dolphins. That was 2 years ago. Of course, I bought the tickets in May like an idiot, thinking, oh, Aaron Rodgers is coming. This is going to be a great season. So I haven't gone to, I didn't go to any games last year. Why would I? They looked terrible from the jump. And actually, I shouldn't say from the jump, after they beat the Patriots, really from the week 4 Denver game on. And then this year, I was like, why the hell would I spend money to go, all the way to New Jersey and go to MetLife? So I haven't gone to a game in almost 2 years. The Abdul Carter thing is unbelievable to me because, Dom, he wanted Lawrence Taylor to unretire his jersey.
I
I mean,
saw a comment. I saw a comment that said maybe he should be wearing number 56 after all,
I
because
mean,
Lawrence Taylor
it's
was worse. He was way worse. He was late to everything. He was, you
yeah,
know, doing coke and
yeah.
everything, and I
Yeah.
actually found that pretty funny
No,
that someone
I
said that.
and I agree to that comment too because I remember I was watching a video and Bill Parcells got under Lawrence Taylor's skin and said, "No, no, no, you're not going to play. He's going to play because you can't get to this guy anyway." It was something like that. How he didn't want to play him, and he was basically just demeaning Lawrence Taylor. Next thing you know, Lawrence Taylor just blew up in the game, and he had a
Yeah,
fantastic
I remember that.
performance. I saw that. Bill Parcells easily going to be one of the best coaches ever in the NFL, or frankly is. Shouldn't say will be. He is. But aside from all that, right? It is really baffling to me about, and there's the last thing I'll say about the Giants before I get to the Jets. It is baffling to me that Brian Daboll didn't have the accountability that we thought he had, right? Establishing accountability with his players. I thought he was much better in that instance. I really thought he would take a lot more accountability, not just for himself, but putting it on his players. Clearly, with Abdul
Exactly.
Carter, he did not. and I'm not really sure what he was doing behind the scenes and what he was doing as a coach. But listen, Dom, he's gone now. There's a reason why he's gone. No accountability with his players is obviously one thing, but him just being a coach, and you even said it last week, he was coaching to lose his job, which is miraculous. But hey, that's just what it is.
You know, it's just so funny because he was under Bill Belichick and he was under Nick Saban. You didn't learn a thing from them? Nothing?
He got soft.
Yeah, and like, I mean, there's just a few more things I'll say about the Giants. That Mike Kafka, he played very conservative. He didn't really allow Jameis Winston to throw the ball that much. He just ran the hell out of the ball, which, I mean, hey, if that's the game plan, that's the game plan. But he's just the interim head coach. I mean, he is basically, this is his interview for a head coaching job. But hey, I mean, the season's lost anyway, and he's just trying to do the best he could. Tyrone Tracy played good. They ran the ball well. Devin Singletary had 2 touchdowns. Isaiah Hodgins, he's back. He's back with the Giants, and already he has the same amount of receptions as Jalen Hyatt. Meanwhile, Jalen Hyatt has been with the team all year, which is hilarious, by the way. And I left. The reason why I left early to the game was because I know the Giants weren't going to come back and score, and I was just shocked that they actually went down the field that far in that amount of time. And I'm like, oh shit, like am I messing up right now? Like, I'm like second guessing, like, oh God, like, should I go back into the stadium? And then I see on the big screen, Jameis Winston interception in the end zone. But honestly, it wasn't his fault. Jalen Hyatt just stopped running. He just completely stopped running his route for some stupid reason in the end zone. And that's how we lost the game, because Jalen Hyatt does not know how to run a route. With the Giants, there's nothing really that exciting. And then with Shane Bowen, people can say, oh, we have no secondary. Like our secondary is so bad. Maybe that's why Abdul Carter and like these other rushers aren't getting to the quarterback. But literally you see Dexter Lawrence multiple times last game, he got triple teamed, not double teamed, triple teamed. You can't fix that. You can't do anything to change the game plan for him to not get double teamed or triple teamed. I mean, that's how amazing of a player he is. You're getting triple teamed, but that's it. Because that's how bad we are at stopping the run. You're guarding one player on the defensive line. One. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and that's just embarrassing.
No, but that's the thing with Dexter Lawrence. He has been getting triple teamed for years now. And we have mentioned it in preseason. We mentioned it before the season started. That was also something that I even talked about when Quinnen Williams was still on the Jets. But unfortunately, the Giants, they had a lot of high hopes once they saw Jackson Dart play, Cam Scatterbo, Malik Neighbors. Everybody's hurt. It is what it is. It's just how
Yeah,
it
it is what
goes.
it is.
But one thing I'll say, and then I actually going to get to the Jets, Jalen Hyatt has given up. He has quit on the team. He looks like crap. And honestly, I don't know how long he's going to be in a Giant uniform, frankly, Dom. So that is the last thing I will say. Now moving on with the Jets. The Jets lose to the Patriots 27-14. It looked promising in the first drive when Justin Fields got a running touchdown. It did look promising. I was like, okay, this could be something. I was like, this could actually be a game. I was like, this is pretty good so far. No. Very much a tease, BS, whatever you want to say. But that didn't continue going forward for the rest of the game. Like I wrote here, Justin Fields looked good in his first drive, but then he could not get it going whatsoever for the rest of the game. Yes, I know A.D. Mitchell, he needs to make catches on a couple of plays. I'm not going to totally put it on Justin Fields, but really there was only one throw to A.D. Mitchell that was actually in the bucket that Mitchell should have caught. But let's be real, folks. Justin Fields is just not an NFL quarterback. He can't complete a pass to save his life. And I agree with Willie Colon on the SNY Jets postgame. Aaron Glenn needed to go to Tyrod Taylor in the second half. I mean, you have to make moves. I'm not really sure what you're seeing week to week, even practice to practice. I don't care how great my team practiced this week. We've been hearing that for years. The result is not anything good. So you should have went to Tyrod Taylor in the second half. So I completely agree with Willie Colon on the SNY Jets post game on that one. The only bright spot, really, Dom, in this game was John Mechie III. He had 3 receptions on 3 targets, 45 yards, and 1 TD. His longest reception was 22 yards. Other than that, that was it. I mean, I don't know if folks remember, my bet last week was Jets under 10.5 total points. They scored 14, but at one point, I thought my bet was going to be correct. They were at 10 points, or they were at 7, and they weren't really moving the ball whatsoever. And I thought, oh, maybe they'll get a field goal towards the end of the game, and that's it. And they'll finish with 10 points. They finished with 14, but that's still nothing. So that was the one bright spot of the game, John Mechie III. And I'm going to list Drake May's stats because if for the folks who are maybe asking Chris, why you reading the opposing quarterback stats, well, I'll tell you why at the end. Drake May showed, the Jets how important and impactful a competent QB can be. Okay, 25 of 34 passing, 281 yards, 1 TD, 83.0 QBR, 107.6 passer rating. Travion Henderson had 3 TDs, 2 rushing, 1 receiving. So that bet was smart from last week. I said for the people to take 2+ TDs for either Henderson or Stevenson. I think that was Dom plus 330 or plus 360. I forgot the exact number, but that was a smart bet. The reason why, and yes, that's partially the reason to show how important and impactful a competent QB is, but I don't know if people read articles this summer or they were listening to reporters and analysts. Dom, do you remember how many people were saying, I don't know if Drake May can cut the mustard. I don't know how the Patriots are going to be.
A lot of people.
I don't think they're going to be that great. A bunch of people.
A lot of people.
A lot of people said this. I mean, people were writing off the Patriots the whole entire July month, August preseason training camp, just writing this kid off. And now look, he's got what? 20 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. He's having a fantastic year. And what is the Pats record? I think they're what? 7-3? Something like that. What is their record here? They're I'm sorry, they're 9-2.
9-2.
9-2. So it just shows you when you get a competent QB, okay, and you put faith in your young player and you have the right coaching. Some people that I know don't love Mike Vrabel. They think he's a douche. He was when he was a player for the Pats as a linebacker. Now he's a coach. But hey, you can't take away his greatness so far this season as a coach because he's obviously doing something right with Drake May. So I wanted to list out those stats for that certain reason. With all this being said, the Jets finally made the move that every Jets fan has been waiting on for weeks. And frankly, I don't know why it took so damn long. Justin Fields has officially been benched. And Tyrod Taylor will be starting against the Ravens this Sunday. Again, I don't know why it took you to be 2-8 to do this, but finally Aaron Glenn got his head out of his ass and he decided, Tyrod Taylor should play and Justin Fields is just not an NFL quarterback. So again, I don't know why that took so long. He was giving this kid a shot week after week. Dude, he can only run. I'm telling you, I will stick to this statement, Dom, for as long as the Jets are in the NFL and they're an actual franchise. Justin Fields should convert to being a running back. He should be. He shouldn't be a QB anymore.
Should, honestly.
He's not a QB.
I mean, at this point, who the hell is going to want to sign him? Or want to trade for him or anything. There's actually a lot of good backup quarterbacks out there, that are better than Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to throwing the ball. I mean,
agree.
You got Malik Willis looked good as a backup for the Packers. He looked pretty good. There's still like Milton out there. What's his name? Joe Milton. And there's a lot of good ones out there. Mac Jones even. Mac Jones had a great year this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and well now Brock Purdy's back, so I'm sure Mac Jones isn't going to play that anymore. But hey, someone can sign him. Yeah, I mean Mac Jones even played good, and I'm sure someone could sign him. You know, he could actually throw the ball. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
someone can get him. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it
So
is.
yeah, the thing is too, Dom, is that Justin Fields is still signed for next year, so he'll be
Yeah,
the
it's
backup quarterback for the Jets next year, unfortunately. So
bad.
with all that being said, too, do the Jets go for a QB this upcoming draft, or should they wait for the 2027 draft? The issue is with this, of course. I mean, the Jets would then have to tank again next year after, Woody Johnson, that jackass, increased season ticket prices to then increase them again after the 2026 season and then finally get a quarterback. I mean, I know people are saying you should push for the 2027 draft. Folks, I don't think fans deserve to wait another year. I think you get whoever you get this year. I know the draft class for QBs is much stronger the year after, but how in the world are you going to justify to Jets fans for a 16th year in a row next year that they should just tank again and do another tankathon to try to get the number 1 or number 2 pick in the draft to then finally get a QB? Dom, you're telling me the Giants right now are slated at number 2 in the draft this year? That must be then the Giants are 3. I mean the Jets. The Jets are 3 then.
Yeah, they are 3.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's not good.
you don't have to tank next year. You wouldn't have to do that. I mean, just sign a good free agent. Sign a good free agent or try and trade for a quarterback and then get another weapon because you guys have needed another weapon for years too. Who the hell was beside Garrett Wilson? No one.
It's true.
Literally nobody.
That's
I
true.
mean, if I was in the position that I'm in, like if the Giants didn't have a quarterback, I mean, obviously, like if we're number 2, it's hard to say no to that. But there's not who the hell's a good quarterback this year in college that is
One,
eligible for the draft.
Fernando Mendoza. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
He's not even that great of a prospect.
No, he's actually been
N-
slowing down a bit.
Exactly. So if the Giants were in that situation, I'd say get another weapon as well. But you never know. Maybe the Giants might go for a receiver anyway, or they might go for that cornerback.
Mm,
But just thinking like myself and like just thinking of how the Giants would think, I don't think they'd be comfortable with getting a cornerback at number 2.
uh-uh.
I would just have to assume that they're trying to improve this offense, so they're just going to try and get one of these Ohio State receivers, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's like Jeremiah Smith, if I'm not mistaken, that's his name, who's an absolute dog.
Mhm.
So hey, if we get him, hey, I'll take it. And then with Scadaboo next year coming back and Malik Neighbors, hey, I'll take it. But obviously, quarterback's the most important position. But hey, if you get a good free agent, maybe sign him for a year, like an approve it deal, and then you draft your guy next year. Then if you have to, trade up. Like look what they did with Sam Darnold. I know it was a little different because of J.J. McCarthy was hurt, but they only signed him for 1 year and then they let him go. And now you have J.J. McCarthy, but obviously he's not doing that well either, but he's been hurt too. So
Right. Okay.
you can't really tell if he would be really good if he was healthy or not.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. Again, QB strength in the NFL draft for 2026 is not really there. But again, we'll see how everything plays out. We'll see what the Jets and Giants decide to do after this season, this pitiful, brutal season that we're watching. So that's it for the NFL. Now we're going to move on to the NBA. The Knicks go 1-2 on the week. The Knicks lose to the Magic 124-107. More insult to injury. Jalen Brunson got hurt in this game. Grade 1 ankle sprain. He's considered day to day. Knicks did then beat the Heat at home. And I said at home for a reason that I'll get into a little bit down the segment here. Knicks beat the Heat at home on Friday night, 140-132. OG Anunoby got hurt in this game. strained hamstring, will get reevaluated in 2 weeks. Dom is predicting that he'll probably be out until Christmas Day. I honestly don't disagree with him. And then Knicks lost last night to the Heat in Miami, 115 to 113. Me and Dom pretty much watched this game from beginning to end together. But Dom, you can go first about the couple of injuries I just mentioned and the game against the Magic at home and the Heat at home Wednesday night and Friday night, respectively.
I mean, yeah. I mean, with Jalen Brunson, even though he is considered day to day, he has had a lot of ankle injuries in the past. Honestly, I try and keep him out for as long as possible, just cause, just because we need him at 100%. And same thing with OG Anunoby. Like as we all know, he had 2 seasons ago. He had that injury in the playoffs against the Pacers with the hamstring, and obviously you can't really come back in a great time frame from that. But thankfully, this is the beginning of the season this time, and just let him rehab to 100%. And like they say, be reevaluated in 2 weeks. Even if he is good to go, it will take him a week or two for him to get back into shape, to be on the court. So by that time, it'll be Christmas. So hopefully he will be back for Christmas Day, and I can watch him while I'm eating some amazing lasagna. But that's beside the point. I'll just get straight to it when it comes to this game last night. Our defense is just not there at all. They said yesterday on the broadcast at MSG that we are 29th in the league in 3-point percentage for opposing teams at 39%. That's awful. That's actually awful.
Yeah.
And then when Chris and I were watching the game yesterday, we're like, when they play in man, like, someone's like also just wide open. Someone's just wide open from three or just getting to the hole really, really easy. We're like, they should play zone. I was like, yeah, I agree. And I think that hurt us because that's when they started playing 3-2 zone. That didn't matter either. I mean, at least one person was wide open behind the arc. I mean, I feel like this is also the same thing when it was with Tibbs. At least one person was wide open from three, with him as a coach as well. I really don't know how we're going to try and defend this. I mean, obviously it's hard that we don't have OG, one of the best defenders in the league. And I mean, Mikal Bridges can't just carry everyone. And it's also hard too that it was actually pissing me off last night that Mitch Robinson was still really under a minutes restriction. We needed Mitch Robinson with at least 2-3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they didn't put him in until there's seconds left on the clock. That's bad time management right there by the coach, by Mike Brown, excuse me. I understand that you're trying to make him, be healthy and just to be cautious. I don't blame you. But, I mean, the fact that he played 18 minutes, there's going to have to be a point in time where you play this guy a decent amount of minutes, not just 18 minutes, mostly in the first half. We need you deep down in the trenches in the third and fourth quarter. Like I said, we needed him with 2 minutes to go when we were down by 10. I mean, thank God we came back because I thought the game was over at that point. Both of us did. But shout out to Deuce McBride for that because he had 25 and had a great game. Mikal Bridges also had another good game. Someone that didn't have a good game, though, was Cat. Even though he had 22 points, but he was 1 of 7 from 3, 7 of 19 from the field. It seemed like he couldn't make anything yesterday. And also, he was taking horrible shot choices. He was just catching the ball, like, near the logo and just chucking. Like, that's not how you do things. that is not how you do things.
Any
What happened?
momentum that you had gets thrown out the window. It ruins momentum. Any
Yeah.
momentum you have, if you just start chucking up shots behind the arc, and like you said, near the freaking logo, I mean, come on, man. You really expect those to go in, and then you get annoyed once again. And Dom, I'm sure you were going to mention it, but I'll just say it now. I said this weeks ago about him driving to the hoop. I mean, Dom, maybe you have the number. I don't know if I do. How many times did you see him hook his arm to try to get leverage and move to the hoop? And he was just screaming and just arguing constantly about how is that a foul? That can't be an offensive foul. Dude, you're hooking your arm on the player to try to get space and try to get by him to get to the hoop. Dom, I don't know how many times that happened. It happened at least 3 times.
Yeah, and they should have called it even more. They should have called it
Yeah,
at least 5. They
I
should have
agree.
called it at least 5 times, but they didn't say anything. But I mean, come on, man. Like, you're 7 foot and like you can't even really go up against Norman Powell in the post. Like, Khalil Ware, I mean, I know he's a tall guy, but you have way much more weight on him and experience. This dude is only in his 2nd year in the league. You're in, I don't even know what year you're in, like 9 or 10.
10.
Like, come on. Like, it's just embarrassing at this point. I don't know why you just can't let your anger out and just go at this guy or whoever the hell you're going up against, even though you're, I don't even know how much taller you are than Norman Powell, probably 7 inches. I mean, it's ridiculous, honestly. But then we have Shamit. You know, he had a great game at home, the Cup game. You know, he had dropped 36 points. I'm sure if you bet over 30 for Landry Shamit, you probably have a house in the Hamptons by now. Good for you. Congratulations. But then, you know, if you have a hot hand, then you try and shoot as much as you could. And he went 2-11 from the field last night. That's not good. And then at home at the Cup game, Jordan Clarkson, he had 24 points, which was great. And then he didn't really do much this game. He had 14. We had 10 less points. Then he was 0 for 3 from 3. You know, so it was just a bad shooting night overall. But this is the main point of what I really wanted to get to. If we have 2 starters out, 2 big name starters out because they're down for any reason, why aren't you expanding the roster? Why aren't we playing dudes that need to be developed? Why aren't we playing a Tyler Kolek and Huck Porty? Why not? Is this like an organization problem that we don't know how to develop players? I mean, it took Deuce McBride this whole time for him to be this good. If he was on another team, I'm sure it would have took him way less time for him to be this good. But the problem was he barely played in the beginning. The first couple of years, he barely played. I know we have great players on this team. We have great offensive players. We have great defensive players, clearly. But we need everyone on the team in order for us to go far. And I'll say it. I'll say it to the end of the year. We're going to need everybody. How are you going to expect these guys to go into a playoff game? Let's say someone else gets hurt again in the playoffs. And then, all right, Kolek, Huck Porty, you're up. They're not going to be ready. I mean, Yabu Sele, too, is a different story. He played 10 minutes and had 0 points, which is awful, but you got to keep playing him, especially if Mitchell Robinson is on a minutes restriction still. We just need the bodies. We need to get the rebounds, you know? Like when Mitchell Robinson was out, his backup was Josh Hart. Like, come on, man. I know he gets rebounds, don't get me wrong, but it's almost like I don't even know how much difference in height. Like, probably like 8 inches. You know, so this is just I'm assuming it's an organization problem. Maybe Leon Rose or someone on the higher ups is saying, hey, we need to play the starters. They got to, you know, get their minutes in. You know, they got to get more into game shape to be ready for the playoffs. Is it understandable? Yes. But for emergency cases and just for minutes, because we can't burn out these guys like how Tibbs did, is it going to be the same like that? No. With Mike Brown, no. He's actually a little more flexible with minutes, and he's actually resting players. But still, in case of emergency, we're going to need Kolek, and we're going to need Huck Porty, and honestly, anybody else. Anybody else on our bench, we might need them. So play them now while you can. It's only the beginning of the season. It's not like this is March, April. At least play them something. Yeah. Deuce McBride, he's a good scorer. Can he run an offense? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like he can run the offense. It looks like he's going to go out there and get a bucket. Uh-huh. But who really can run an offense is Tyler Kolek. He's a floor general. He's creating space and plays for other players every time he's on the court. He should be the backup. He should be the one starting. That's just my opinion. But
But hold on a second. I said to you last week, and I've said to you multiple times, even before we had this podcast over the years, Deuce McBride, is not a point guard. I said this. I'm sorry.
I know you have.
Deuce McBride is not a point guard. Yes, last night he made some good plays. His shooting looks so much better.
Great. He looks
His shot
incredible shooter.
looks fantastic. His shooting looks great. He looks more comfortable on the court. He's now turning into a solid veteran. But like you said, am I going to then say, "Hey, Deuce, go run the offense for me"? No, I am not. I'm not going to do that. You're right. Tyler Kolek does need to get more minutes. Huck Porter needs to get more minutes. Even for the 2 minutes that Diawara was on the court last night, he actually looked pretty solid. He was dribbling the ball up the court, getting over the half-court line. He even looks pretty good. And Yabusele just doesn't play. He just doesn't play. That's another guy, Dom, I know you were going to mention. Yabusele he's out of the rotation. I mean, Mike Brown has totally taken him out. He played a little bit last night. What did he play, Dom? 5 minutes? I mean, I don't even know what he played. I'd have to look into it.
He played 10 minutes. Play.
Mike Brown has now kept him on the bench, and now you're starting to question yourself, okay, what did this guy get signed for? He's making $6 million a year. Okay, yeah, maybe he's not in the best of shape. I mean, Ian Begley tried to give him a pass, like I said last week, because he played a lot of basketball games for France. But, dude, what did you sign him for? Diawara registered 1 minute.
1 minute.
And then obviously Kolek and Huck Porter did not play, coach's decision. So I agree with you. You do need everybody. The problem, though, Dom, that I have, okay, and actually, let me say this first before I say my main problem. This team, and you already said it about their defense, but there are certain guys that slack off on defense. Jordan Clarkson is number one, without a doubt. Jordan Clarkson is fucking terrible at defense. He is very so bad. He got his pocket picked, and he was just lollygagging going back on defense. And they got a basket, and I even think he fouled the guy. So it was an and one. So his defense is terrible. Cat, dude, if you're going to be a legit star and you're going to help this team get to the finals, forget about win a championship, at least get to the finals. Dude, you got to figure it out on defense, and you got to stop picking up stupid fucking fouls. I mean, I am getting so sick and tired of watching this shit. You got to stop picking up stupid fouls. Every time I look, Cat has 4 or 5 fouls in a game. And it's like, I don't know, 2 minutes in the fourth quarter, 2 minutes in. There's still 10 minutes left in the game, and you got 4 or 5 fouls already. Dude, how? How? What are you doing? I mean, do you not know how to play defense?
He doesn't move his feet.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't move his feet. That's why.
No.
He just stands there and just hoping to just reach.
I don't know what he does. It's terrible. So there are certain guys individually. Yes, defensively as a whole for the team, their defense is bad. But there's individual guys that they can't defend. They just can't do it. And without OG, I mean, dude, everyone else has got to pick up the slack. I mean, you have to. And the main point that I'm going to get at here, and that I've wanted to get at, is with the Knicks playing well at home, that's fantastic. As I said last week, the tickets for a Knicks game at MSG is exorbitant. It's a high price, but at the end of the day, if you can't win a game on the road, what good is it that you're winning games at home? What good is it? Because right now, yes, I know it's kind of a joke, but math is the math. Right now, you're on pace to go 40-42 because you don't have a win at home. You don't have you don't have a win on the road, and you have one loss at home. You're 8-1 you're 8-1 at home, and you're 0-4 on the road. So as much as you want to say, oh, the Knicks are great at home. The Knicks are great at home. Okay, but then you leave MSG. I mean, how am I going to think you're just going to bring all that momentum on the road and you're going to be successful. You're 0-4 on the road. Dude, you got to get a win. Last night, I don't care what the prediction said that the Heat had a 53% chance to win. Dude, you should have won that game. You have enough talent on the team for you to win the game, and you should be 1-3 on the road, not 0-4. So I don't really give a shit what they do at home. If you don't start collecting wins on the road, it's going to be a problem. You got the Mavericks tomorrow. We're going to get into the predictions a little bit down the segment here. You have the the Mavericks in Dallas tomorrow, Wednesday night. Then you have the Magic. Dom, we were just talking about the Magic last night. We warned people that they were going to be a threat in the East. And then, of course, you have the Nets on Monday, but is that really going to be your one road win so far this season? It can't be. It just can't.
Can't. We gotta come out with vengeance against the Magic. Like how the Heat did with us. It was a way more physical game this time around than it was the NBA Cup game. Way more physical. And obviously you can see just from the score, 113 to 115 compared to 132 to 140. So clearly there was a lot more physicality being involved. That's what we're going to have to do. And like what you were saying with these players on defense, I mean, I also appreciate Landry Shamet and the effort. He's a hard player, a hard-working player. He hustles. He's also not a good defender.
No.
And like with Cat, now you were saying he's not a good defender. He's not either. But also, I also think there's another issue about this team that we don't want to talk about. That this is actually a very sensitive topic when it comes to the Knicks. With last year, what happened last year in the playoffs? I know Jalen Brunson's not playing. Jalen Brunson hasn't been playing that great a defense either, and teams were singling him out last year in the playoffs, going at his neck last year. And then I think the Pacers forced him out like twice in that series, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely once, maybe twice. I think it was twice. So if you have him in the starting lineup and Cat, that's like another recipe for disaster again. We need to have better defense because of those two guys, actually. Because of both of them. No one wants to talk about anything bad about Jalen Brunson, but it's the truth. It really is the truth. So we need all the good defenders that we can have. Mikal Bridges can't just carry the defensive load by himself.
No.
He can't.
No.
He can't do it. I mean, him and OG together is just unreal. I mean, the best wing defenders in the league together, at least.
And I got to say one other thing.
So
I got to say one other thing. I mean, we're talking about individual defensive play. What the fuck is Josh Hart doing?
In general, not even just defensively. Even offensively. We were questioning him last night. We're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, this guy is a give and take kind of player, and he steps on the court. He's already got like two turnovers and 2 personal fouls. Played for like 3 minutes.
He'll have
how do you do that? When people want you to wreak havoc on the court, we want you to do it for the benefit of the team, not for the benefit of the other team.
It's hilarious. It's so funny because this is the example of Josh Hart. At one point he had 7 points with a -7. So he's basically at 0. That's Josh Hart for you. He'll make a stupid play on offense and maybe a good play on defense, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
And I think it actually is messing him up that he's not starting. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think he enjoys being on the bench, even though he says I'll do whatever the team tells me to do. But I don't really think he likes being on the bench.
The thing is that he had a few games recently where he was starting to get into the flow. He had that triple-double against the Heat. He's had some good scoring games. It's just the consistency with him is not there yet. And hopefully he finds it because, dude, he's not going to be starting anytime soon. At least we don't think. So he better start getting somewhat comfortable with the bench play. But the last thing I'll say, Dom, and then honestly, I'm kind of done. We're going to move on. The Knicks 3-point shooting defense. They are ranked 29th in the league. I don't know, Dom, if you already mentioned the 3-point percentage for the opposing team. Did you already mention it before? Maybe I didn't hear you.
Yeah, but it was before they said that on the broadcast before the game. Before
Right.
the game, it was 39%. I don't know what it is like right now after
It's like
last night.
it's if you round it up, it's 40. It's
Still,
40%.
Jesus.
Fox Sports updated it, and it's if you round it, it's 40%. And only the Hornets are behind them at 41.2.
That's awful. And Norman Powell, he's averaging 48% from three.
What a demon that guy is. I mean, he is
He
so
is
good.
incredible. He is
I can't
so
believe
good.
the Clippers don't have him.
Did
I
you
mean, it's unbelievable.
well, did you hear what he said? He said if it wasn't for the second apron, he believes that he'd still be with the Clippers.
And I 100% agree with him.
That's just
That's the thing. And I was reading those quotes to you, Dom, last night about how the second apron it is true. It's taking away the middle class pay for NBA players.
it is.
That the rich are getting richer, and the guys who are taking like Yabusele, Jordan Clarkson money, which I don't know if you remember, as I just said, Yabusele got 2 years, 12 million. And I think Jordan Clarkson took what? He took like 1 year, I don't know, 5, 6, maybe around the same as Yabusele. Bottom line is
Yeah.
it's under 10 million. That's all I know. So, yeah. I mean, the second apron is definitely hurting some players' pockets. Yes, I know. They're still making millions of dollars. I understand. But we're talking about a certain niche. We're talking about
Yep.
just the aspect of NBA payroll and salary for players. That's what we're talking about. But that's it for the NBA. That's everything for the Knicks. What I will say about the MLB as we're moving on here, Dom, do you have anything to say about the Yankees quick before I go on to something about the Mets?
Ryan Yarbrough is back. He signed for a 1-year deal, $2.5 million. It's a good pickup. I mean, he did decent last year. Nothing anything too crazy, nothing anything too amazing, nothing anything too bad. We need the arms, especially in the bullpen. So hey, I'll take it.
Okay.
And that's
Um,
literally it.
yeah. I know you told me before we aired the episode here that's really all you had. So that's the Yankees. For the Mets, I'm going to be mentioning Josh Naylor's contract that he just signed the other day, and I'll give the reason why. But there's a few things that I want to say. So Josh Naylor signed a 5-year, $92.5 million contract. I guess you could say extension. I mean, he got traded over to Seattle midseason from Arizona. But he signed a 5-year, $92.5 million contract with the Seattle Mariners with a full no trade clause and a $6.5 million signing bonus. So Andy Martino on SNY claims this deal does not affect Pete Alonso. I just have one question for you, Andy.
What?
Are you a dumbass?
What? Who? Andy? Who?
Andy Martino. Andy Martino
Who
for
the fuck is this guy?
SNY. He
He's from
claimed
SNY.
from SNY. Yes.
You deserve to get fired for that.
That is
Like
a
what?
ridiculous statement.
Andy Martino.
I mean, so I'll ask it one more time.
This
Yeah,
idiot?
there he is. Yeah, Andy. There he is. Hey, Andy. Are you a dumbass? I'm just curious. How
If
in
he
the
has
world? Go ahead.
if he has 101.6 thousand followers, we should have about 5 million. We should have about 5 million subscribers if that's the case.
Oh,
God, that
Dom,
is
the
just,
funny thing is, I listened to this video, I would say 20 minutes before we got on air today. I didn't see it until this morning. He claims that it doesn't really affect Pete Alonso's market that much. Now, let me just get into some things that I wrote here before you give your take on this one. I'm just going to be upfront with it. This is absolutely hurting Pete Alonso's market. And Scott Boras will now have to justify his claim of Pete Alonso deserving a long-term, exorbitant deal from not only the Mets, but frankly, anybody. He said he wants Alonso getting 6-7 years north of $200 million plus. And with, I mean, if I could do math here, 92.5 divided by 5, that's about 18 to 20. That's about 18.5 million a year for Josh Naylor with the Mariners. That is not remotely close to what Scott Boras wants Pete to get per year. He wants him to get like double that, literally. Double that is 37 million a year. He wants Pete getting like 35 to 37. Okay, Josh Naylor, for starters, and Andy Martino even mentioned this. Josh Naylor is 2.5 years younger than Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso's turning 31 December 7th of this year, and Josh Naylor's turning 29 on, I think, June 22nd, it is, of next season, during next season. Okay, he's also, Josh Naylor, that is, he's a strong power hitter as a first baseman. And of course, I know Alonso won the Silver Slugger Award for the National League, but I'm going to be honest, that doesn't really move me that much. We know that Pete can hit homers. I mean, he set the National League rookie home run record the first year he was in with 53. So we know he can hit. So it's not really surprising that he got Silver Slugger. But does Pete Alonso play good defense? No, but Josh Naylor does. Josh Naylor plays good defense at first. And then the most important stat to me, I don't know about you, Dom, but me personally, the most important stat is wins above replacement. The acronym is WAR, WAR. Pete Alonso's this past season was 3.4. You want to guess Josh Naylor's, Dom?
6 something.
Nah, it was the same. It was like 3.1, 3.2. So if that's not much of a difference, and that's one of the most important stats in baseball, I mean, for the love of God, it's wins above replacement. If I get hurt and Dom has to take over for me at first base, they're essentially saying, okay, this is how many wins Dom will get for me and my team if I get hurt and I'm not playing. It's pretty much the exact same. It's off by 0.2, 0.3. Okay, not even a full game. So Alonso has 5 All-Star appearances, but I kind of chalk it up to 4 because 2024 he shouldn't have made it. I mean, that was a pathetic All-Star selection. He should have never made that All-Star team that year. He was terrible. And Josh Naylor has 1, which was the year that Pete Alonso shouldn't have made it, 2024. Okay? There was a contract prediction from Sleeper Mets on Twitter, 5 years, $135 million. I'm honestly good with it. I'm even good with 5 years, $150, but that's it. Josh Naylor's contract. Say it again?
He's not going to want that.
Oh, I know he's not going to want it, but if you look at Josh Naylor's contract, I think it's definitely going to affect it. You could say, oh, well, Scott Boras is going to say, oh, well, my client, he won the Silver Slugger Award, and he had a great bounce-back year last year, and, he set the home run record for the Mets. Hey, Scott, do me a favor. Pipe it down and shut it. Because at the end of the day, you just go based on who was the second best option for first base if Pete Alonso was gone for the Mets. Well, that's right. Josh Naylor. That's who it was. So if Josh Naylor is getting 5 years, $92.5 million, I'm not going to turn around and give Pete Alonso 6 years, $210. I'm not going to do it. It's just not going to happen. So I personally think, and I guess Dom agrees with me, that Josh Naylor's contract is 1,000% affecting Pete Alonso's market. Andy Martino, you are a certified dumbass. I got to be honest.
That's just like sports 101. That's not even just like, this isn't just about like a first baseman. This is about pitching, outfielders, point guards, wide receivers, linebackers. This is sports 101 that we're talking about here. There's a market for every single position. and every contract matters for that market. Boom.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
That's it.
I made his next segment for him that he should have said the other day.
Yeah.
What?
I agree. I don't
But
know.
he had to say something else, like the reason behind it. Which now after this, I'm gonna be watching this idiot and Andy Martino. Honestly, I'll take your job. Thank you, or Chris. One of us will take it.
Whoever.
We'll take your SNY job quick.
Whoever.
I,
Miraculous. I'm sure he said something else, Dom. I just didn't hear it. But honestly, I heard enough in the 1 minute video that I heard this morning from SNY that they posted. I mean, I was just like, what is this guy talking about? He's talking about, well, Josh Naylor is 2.5 years younger. And, Josh Naylor is a better defensive first baseman. And he does have power, but it's not affecting Pete Alonso's market. Dude, are you listening to yourself? Did you hear everything that you just said? Are you kidding? You said
I'm
everything that makes it the reason why Josh Naylor's contract hurts Pete Alonso's market.
I'm reading comments from the video. I've never met anyone who likes Martino. Silly take. Of course, market values matter. It mattered when Christian Walker took 3 years, $60 million last offseason.
Yes.
The 20 million AAV Naylor deal matters. No
Yes.
shit.
I didn't even read the comments, Tom. Thank you for reading them. I didn't even read them. I just saw the video and made my own comment.
This is a good one right here. Ready? Martino said the Mets were going to trade Zach Wheeler and Noah Syndergaard. He knows the industry as much as my 8-year-old son.
It's a good comment.
Come on, man. He at least got to be on probation. At least after that.
Dude, that was crazy. That was whatever. I'm done. We said enough. I don't need to keep entertaining that idiot. All right, so that's it for the MLB. That's the only thing I had to say really for the Mets. Free agency is still moving along and trying to continue to brew up and create some sort of hot stove. So now we're gonna do take a seat, let's bet, as we always do every week since whenever we took off the other segment. I forget when it was, but we're moving on to this segment now. Take a seat. Let's bet. Dom, you can go first with your DraftKings bets for Thursday Night Football, which is Bills at Texans, and then the Giants play
the Lions.
The Lions, yes, in Detroit.
Oh yeah, the Giants definitely have a chance, right? Yeah. Anyway, Thursday Night Football, Texans and Bills. I'm gonna do a same game parlay. Jaden Higgins anytime touchdown and Khalil Shakir anytime touchdown. That's plus 1,800. And people are gonna look at me like, what the fuck? I get it. But because Khalil Shakir played so bad, he gave me 0.7 points in fantasy. You know what? He's gonna bounce back. He's gonna bounce back this time. And not gonna lie, I mean the Bills don't have the greatest defense, but it's not bad. So I'm sure there's gonna be some red flag on Nico Collins. They're gonna try their best to stop him. And the next man up is Jaden Higgins. So honestly, I don't think that's that bad of a bet. But Khalil Shakir, do not screw me again. You're one of the reasons why I lost this week. So thank you for that. And also for my next bet, Giants versus Lions. So this is the problem. We're doing this on a Tuesday at the time of this recording, and they don't do not all the bets. They don't allow you to pick every player for a bet, and not even just players, just other stats like first half bets or money line or yards thrown. Not every bet is an option at this point. But there is one bet that's available right now, but I would want this as a same game parlay when it's possible. I want Amon-Ra St. Brown two touchdowns. That's plus 500. But it was very limited when it comes to anytime touchdowns. It was only him and Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameis Winston and Tyrone Tracy. That was really it, who was able to bet on right now. But when more bets do come out, I would bet Isaiah Hodgins anytime touchdown. And as of right, I wouldn't think that it would be that like easy of odds. So whenever you could, whatever that number will be, I would do Amon-Ra St. Brown 2 touchdowns, and then for any time, and Isaiah Hodgins anytime touchdown. I mean,
Okay.
that seems pretty possible, and I think you'd earn a pretty penny if you win that bet.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Obviously all these numbers are subject to change. So they can
Yeah,
definitely change as the days, move along here. So those are some solid bets. For me, Bills at Texans. I'm actually doing a same game parlay as well. I'm doing Dawson Knox anytime touchdown. Individually, that's plus 350. And Josh Allen anytime touchdown, that is minus 115. But if you put them together as a same game parlay, you get plus 835. The thing is, I think these will be the only 2 touchdowns I expect from the Bills to score. Texans have the best total defense in the NFL. Their rushing defense is second in the league, whereas their passing defense is fourth. So I believe the wide receivers, honestly, Dom, for the Bills are going to be heavily covered. But the tight ends, I think, need to be utilized for the Bills to have any, shot of getting more than 1 or 2 touchdowns. And I think Allen is going to have to use his legs in this game. Because again, I don't think he's going to have, many open wide receivers in this one. So that's one bet. Then with the Texans, I mean, they should be running the ball all day long. Bills passing defense is third best in the league, but this is like a crazy up and down. I mean, this is the difference is just staggering. They're 30th in the NFL for rushing. So the Bills are 30th in rushing, but they're third in the NFL in passing. So what does that
crazy.
mean? Well, you already know where I'm going with this one. I'm taking Woody Marks 2+ touchdowns. It's plus 1,000, which
Nah.
I mean, I think that's ridiculously high, but whatever. And again, as I said, it's subject to change. But Woody Marks 2+ TDs plus 1,000. I'm also going to take Woody Marks 90+ rushing yards at plus 270. But I'm not putting them together. I'm doing separate bets. They're not same game parlay. Those 2 separate. Again, Woody Marks 2+ TDs plus 1,000. Woody Marks 90+ rushing yards plus 270. So that's for Bills and Texans. Jets Ravens. I'm not even betting for the Jets. I'm just going to strictly bet against them. I mean, I'm not wasting my time anymore. Thanks. Thanks, but no thanks. Lamar Jackson, I think, will have a bounce back game after throwing 2 interceptions against the Browns. He had a 25.7 QBR and a 47.6 passer rating. And I am going to go with the spread and total points parlay. Because again, FanDuel doesn't give you much for games that are all the way ahead going to Sunday. So again, spread and total points parlay. Ravens minus 13.5, but I'm going to say under 44.5 points, and that's plus 290. I will give my prediction, in a little bit here, but those are my bets, Dom. So Dom gave his bets, I gave mine. So now the last segment here, take a seat, let's predict. Go ahead, Dom. You go first this time. I went first last week, but I'll let you go first this time. Giants at Lions. Who do you got and what's the score?
I'm gonna do 30-14 Lions. Uh, I believe that Isaiah Hodgins will get in, and I believe that Tyrone Tracy will get a rushing touchdown, or or Singletary. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns last week, so it could be either one of those 2. And then Amon-Ra, he's gonna go off. He's gonna be open a lot. I know Sam Laporte is out, but you still got Jameson Williams, and you still got Jahmyr Gibbs. So I think every single player could go off for that team. Every single
Okay.
weapon they have could literally go off. Even the tight end. Not gonna lie, I don't know who the backup tight end is, but Sam Laporta is out, and he could even have a game too. Our defense is that bad, clearly, like I've been saying all season, of how Shane Bowen is a threat to society. So yeah, the Lions, they're gonna cook. They're gonna cook, unfortunately, and yeah, we're gonna lose again.
Okay. So you said 30-14 Lions.
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. Jets at Ravens. Dom, get ready for this one.
How you doing?
You want to take a guess what my score is going to be for this one? Obviously, Ravens are winning, folks. Let's not get, let's not be foolish. What do you think my predicted score is, Dom?
21-0.
No.
Oh.
42-17. 42-17. They're going to stay under 44.5 points, as you just heard me with my bet. And I think Lamar is going to go off. I think he's going to bounce back in a big way. And I think every single person is going to get a touch in this game. Running back, tight end, wide receiver, Dom's dog, my cat. Everyone's going to get a touch in this game. And I think it's going to be an absolute blowout and a bludgeoning in this one. And I think the Ravens win 42-17. And I don't think the Ravens stop. And I don't think they take their foot off the gas at all.
Listen to this. Ready? Lamar Jackson, 6.72 points. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 6.20 points. Khalil Shakir, 0.7 points. Lamar, you better bounce back, my guy.
I think you will. The Jets are the team to do it.
I pray to the heavens that you help me win. Now I am under 500 in my league, but somehow I'm still in the playoffs. That's how bad people drafted in this league. But, for my excuse, I had Brock Bowers, who was hurt, and Lamar Jackson. So, you can't really expect to win a lot with those two hurt multiple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's my excuse. That's why I'm 5-6. But honestly, it was a complete stinker for my team this week. No excuse this week. So Lamar Jackson, you better cook.
I think you will. And I also think this game is going to really show how bad the Jets are. And they'll eliminate any, it should have this past, last Thursday against the Patriots. But I think this game will absolutely eliminate any ridiculous prediction that goes for my friend Matt, that we disclosed his crazy take and prediction last episode, or any Jets fan for whatever they've had for a prediction or a hot take. But I think that'll eliminate all of that this upcoming Sunday. So that's the Jets. Again, if you didn't hear it, I'll say it one more time. Jets at Ravens. Ravens win at 42-17. That's my prediction. I'm sorry. But now we go to the Knicks. Dom, you can go first. You can give a prediction for this upcoming week. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, Knicks at Mavericks. Then it's Knicks at Magic Saturday evening. I believe that's a 5 p.m. game. And then Knicks at Nets on Monday night. So Dom, you can go first. How are they going to do this week?
Clearly I want them to go 3-0, but just a really good team on the road. I don't know if they could beat the Magic at home. On the road. So I'm gonna go 2-1. They'll beat the Mavericks. They'll beat the Nets. But that'll be our first road win against the Nets. But I don't think they could beat a pretty good team on the road as of right now. So I'll say 2-1.
So okay, so you go 2-1. Right now, the Mavericks are 4-11. They're not very good. That would be nice for the Knicks to get their first road win.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Well,
I read it wrong. Yeah, obviously they're on a road trip, so the Mavericks would be their first road win, and then the Magic, I can't see them beating them with the Magic being home, and the Nets. If we don't beat the Nets,
well, don't even put that in your head, please. I don't need to.
I'm throwing my phone in the Atlantic Ocean.
Forget about that.
That's what I'm doing.
Not going to watch basketball for the rest of the year. I'm sorry, Dom. I'm going 1-2. I think they go 0-6 on the road. I'm sorry. I just tell me what I've seen, and I don't even know if Brunson's going to play tomorrow. So he may be out. I know he's day to day. Obviously, OG is going to be out. Dom predicts until Christmas Day. I don't. My prediction wasn't far behind. I said honestly maybe a week before that, but it could be Christmas Day. He's probably right. I don't know. Just from what I've seen on the road, Dallas, they could come and play. They still have a few good players, but I don't know. From what I've seen with this team on the road, I'm not just going to chalk up a win for them tomorrow night. I say they go 1-2. They lose to the Mavs. They lose to the Magic. They go 0-6 on the road. Or I'm sorry. They get their one road win against the Nets. So they'll go 1-6 on the road, and they'll go 1-2 for the week. Sorry. That's what I think is going to happen. So those are our weekly predictions. Dom going 2-1, a win against the Mavs, a loss against the Magic, a win against the Nets. I go 1-2, losses to the Mavericks and the Magic, and then they beat the Nets Monday night in Brooklyn. Dom, anything to say before I wrap up today's episode?
It still pisses me off about how many opposing fans there are at MetLife. I know that it's just not a good product on the field. I understand, but man, I understand too that you don't want to spend your money. You know, it's just such a sad thing to see. It really is. And with this defense, it needs to be figured out soon, or else it's going to be a really long regular season for us. Meanwhile, we thought this would be for the better this year with the new coach. But I mean, did we know that the defense would get worse? I think yes, but I didn't think it'd be that as bad as it's been. So we got to figure it out.
Yeah. I'm not even going to speak on the Jets. They're just putrid. They'll have to figure out something after this season. We'll see where they're placed for the 2026 draft. And regarding MetLife, how many fans are there? Honestly, Dom, it's expected. A lot of people shouldn't be spending their money, their hard-earned money, on watching this god-awful, not even the Jets, but the Giants too, just New York football in general. They shouldn't have to spend their money to watch garbage every Sunday and bring their family to watch losers play football. I just think it's a bad look, and it's a bad sign to give their kids. So I don't blame them for not spending money on football and going to see a game all the way out in dirty water, New Jersey. So that's that. But there is one thing I will say before we completely wrap up this episode. With OG and Anunoby hurt, and we're not exactly sure when Brunson will be back playing, I am telling you right now, if the Knicks do not figure out how to win games on the road, and they do not improve their three-point shooting defense, and really their defense in general, by Christmas, New Year's, whichever, Mike Brown will be getting a lot of heat from people, and his job will be somewhat in jeopardy. Mark my words on that. They have to figure it out on defense, and they got to start winning some road games, because winning at home is nice. As I've said this ad nauseum already, you need to start winning on the road. And if you don't, it looks like you're going 40-42, 41-41, whatever, 38-44, whatever the case may be. You better start winning on the road, and you better start fixing your defense, because it looks like shit without OG. So
Absolutely.
that's all I'll say. Dom, any last words?
Oh yeah, there is one stat that actually I forgot to mention. I wasn't going to mention it just because of how bad the Giants are, because what's the point of saying stats? But just to say it, because honestly, it's just funny at this point of how bad this player is. Deonte Banks in coverage this season, right? I told you this earlier. I just forgot to say it. 20 with the quarterbacks. These are quarterback stats, by the way, against Deonte Banks. 20 of 23, that's 87%. 270 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and 155.2 passer rating.
If the folks don't know, a perfect passer rating is 158.
Yep.
Well,
it's just funny. No words. I don't have anything to say. I just wanted to say it.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you to everyone for tuning in to today's episode of the FTB podcast on either YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Be sure to like this episode and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss any of our shows. See you folks on Tuesday. Peace.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.